Hello, 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 hello. Greetings.
Hello,
Oh,
people who
yay, I
forget
heard
to
my
mute
voice.
stream, and here's my voice straight.
I know.
That makes two of us. We're doing so well.
I had to test it out, make sure we can hear. Josh, can you hear us all well? Please let me know if not.
Are we real
I'm here
people?
Today
Do we
with
exist?
Emily. Did you just
Hi.
do the start?
Did I do that?
Oh,
I would never do such a thing.
never. Oh
No.
God, what did it change it to? Oh God, I'm a banana.
I mean, Josh says you sound great, so clearly it's fine.
I sound great like a banana. Thank you, thank you. Well, hello. Okay, well I'm gonna do this like a banana then, because in honor of Emily being here, LOL. Hey, Tetson.
Hi, Tatson.
So on brand. Honestly, if my voice does not change immediately to start the stream, what are we even doing? You know?
Because you've started when I've already gone to bed.
Oh, true. Yes, yes. You do sleep, I guess.
Sometimes, very occasionally.
LMAO. Oh, it was not a permitted term?
Double O probably screwed it up. Yeah, that's fine.
Ah, noted, noted, noted. Thank you. Hi, hi. All right, everybody. I don't know if I'm still banana, but that's like the fun of it. Monique here with JDRF Game2Give. I am very thrilled to bring you today Dark Insanities, aka Emily. It's a little bit of an inside joke. Not sure if you've been here, but whenever I appear
in chat as JDRF, Dark always trolls me and says it's probably Emily.
Well,
and by
the
Emily,
first person I met
Monique.
on the JDRF account was Emily.
Of course, yeah.
And so now I have to make that assumption every time.
It's always Emily. Yes. Yeah. So that's why you put Emily in the closed captions.
Of course.
Keeping everything on brand today. But you guys, we're going to be chatting T1D Tuesday. This is our last stream of the calendar year, which is pretty wild, but we're coming off a really incredible high of Diabetes Awareness Month. So just want to thank everybody for participating, including Dark here, for really making it an incredible month.
I existed.
What was it? You assisted?
I existed.
Yeah. You did exist, and you thrived, more or less. You did.
Chat
you
killed
killed
me a
it.
fair number of times.
But it was amazing. That clip of you with the perfectly mirrored. At first, I had to watch it like 6 times to figure out what you meant. And then I saw it because, like, literally it is perfectly mirrored where I didn't even realize that your screen had gone, like, your game had gone back and then you were dead. So it was so good.
This was after about 5 minutes on that one room as well. Because people kept ruining my day. It was very chaotic.
So good. It
was excellent.
Yeah. Hey Melly, hey Tom. You know that guy? He's kind of all right. Yeah, he's kind of all right. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I know. Dark calling it Emily. But you guys, we raised over $36,000 for Diabetes Awareness Month, which is incredible. Our goal was 25. You guys all crushed it.
Slightly over.
Slightly over, just a little bit. If you haven't checked out our Twitter already, we have an incredible thread of some highlights and some clips. So check it out if you want some of those feels today. But again, want to thank you all for participating and supporting. Whether or not you hosted a charity stream or donated, just like RTing, raising awareness, sharing your story, it all counts and makes a really big impact. So what a great way to end the year. Yay! See, Dark is modding while also being the guest. So it's like we put him to work continually, even when he's not supposed to be working. But thank you, Tatson. So this has been long awaited, Dark, I think.
That's dangerous.
People have been waiting to hear from you.
Uh-oh. Run away. Bye. I got to go.
But no, chat, if you don't already know Dark already, Dark has been a very active member in our community. And when I say active, I meant it in the Twitter thread when I was teasing out who the guest was. Basically, honorary JDRF staff at this point. Because Dark is always on it. There isn't a time where I'm not editing something in Discord where he'll point something out that I've missed, and or if he's not on it on Twitch modding, taking care of putting in links and everything in there. So on top of that, he does so much more. He's so generous, so funny. We enjoy all of the chaos that ensues when you hang out with Dark and have him in your community. So
it was definitely chaos. That is true.
always chaos. I love it because a lot of people say there's chaos in their streams, but is it really happening? Probably not. But with you, it is. He's like, he's kind of all right, a decent human being. One of your favorite Emily's. Hey, Darth Rips, how are you? Darth was actually another participant. You guys hosted his Catterday event. Thank you so much, Darth, for that. Appreciate you.
I think my honorary JDRF staff and title now just needs to be honorary Emily. I think that's going to have to be the title. It's
going to have to morph into that. And it's really a shame that Emily's not even here to see this, so we'll have to clip this for her later.
She'll have great. To just watch the VOD, it'll be fine.
Yeah, she will. Oh, great. Thank you so much, Darth. I'm glad you're doing well. So, Dark Insanities, tell us about yourself. Tell us. Give us the lowdown of what makes Dark Insanities tick.
Where's these gears? Sort of just about here. Sometimes I get jammed, but it's no. So hi, it's me. As to what actually makes me tick, I have no idea. Mel, you're wrong for legal reasons.
Mel.
Mel said meth in the chat for anyone who doesn't read the chat. Yes. Like I said, definitely wrong and definitely for legal reasons. What actually makes me tick is I have no idea. Large amounts of caffeine might be the actual answer. Mel is one of my mods and possibly the second, biggest troll I got, which is where always mod your trolls. It's the best possible way.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. But no, I have been, so I've been diabetic for like just over 15 years. Wow. 15 and a half, something like that. And I really do not know what makes me tick. It's a very existential question.
Wow, that's a big question. I didn't realize it was going to cause that much trouble.
I know, it's stress. I have no idea. I function because it's something to do. Let's go with that. We'll go with that. And because it gives me more chances to troll everyone. Yeah. But I was diagnosed the Tuesday before Easter weekend. I already had all of the Easter eggs, and at no other year in history have they ever lasted me quite so long. But it was like a week and a half before my 15th birthday. So that was a fun, yay, happy birthday.
Yeah, wow. Wait, so you said 15 years.
I'm 30 at the moment. It was just before my 15th birthday. Okay. So, wow, now I feel old.
I feel old. I'm older than you are. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Oh gosh. So can you tell me what was that like? Like what was being diagnosed? Like what happened to lead to your diagnosis?
I had for want of a better way of putting it, very smooth diagnosis. I know there's been people on here who've been like, they ended up in ICU, intensive care or whatever, the first time, massive DK. My mother is a pharmacist and for a living, therefore, experiences diabetics on a fairly regular basis for all of that and is quite up to scratch with the symptoms. We were actually, the actual day we got a diagnosis, we were out for a walk somewhere. I try to avoid doing walks now. Obviously, I have trauma or something. But we were out for a walk and it was just out in the middle of nowhere. And first thing was I desperately needed to go to the bathroom, common symptom of pre-diabetics or just high on sugar at the time. So it went ahead. Then immediately running back to my mother. Okay, running is a stretch, but walking at speed back to my mother. Can I have some money? I really need to get a drink of water. You put those two right next to each other as a pharmacist, it's, it sort of rings all of the alarm bells or whatever.
Sure.
So no, Mel, just no. So went and got a sugar test the same day and was at the doctors by the end of the day who properly confirmed it. And yeah, I did manage to avoid any overnight stay. I was I think the time when I was initially diagnosed, I was only about 27 millimoles, which works out to like 486 in American numbers.
Okay.
Which is much less than many people. And I have definitely been higher since, which is, probably not something I should be saying with quite so much enthusiasm.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I had a relatively smooth start. and it went quite well. And I started with two different types of no, it was the same insulin. I was telling 2 days. I don't even remember what it was called now. Twice a day, and that went all smoothly for about a year and a half. Then it would have been Christmas when I was 16. I followed the rule that everyone follows, which is that carbs you eat at Christmas don't count. This does not apply to your sugar levels. It may apply to weight gain. It does not apply to sugar levels. And eating a chocolate orange at 2 a.m. in the morning ends up with you an entire Terry's chocolate orange ends up with you going to hospital A&E at 6 or 7 a.m. on Christmas Day.
Yikes.
Just word of advice, don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that happened. And then it was fine for a while. And it was one of those, I'm not good at habits. So it was one of those things where there would be sort of like repeated slipping.
Oh, sure.
I've never had chocolate orange since.
Oh, God.
Occasionally a single piece or something if it's like this. But no, I'm very picky about not having chocolate oranges anymore. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I ended up sliding, for want of a better way of putting it, into some fairly bad habits along the line. My sugar level control was more or less just a permanent knife edge, which is that I was perpetually higher than I definitely should be, but not high enough to cause me massively significant impairing problems. And this was for literally years. And then every now and again, something would wobble. I didn't quite inject enough of the pizza I had, or I missed a single dose of my slow acting. I can never remember which way I'm basal or bolus is. Yeah, missed one injection of it one day, and well, off the knife edge and hospital for 2 days. Yay! And this happened. I actually stopped counting hospital admissions after I got to 20 something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I am much better at this right now, I should say. I haven't ended up in hospital all of COVID.
Wow.
It's considered been a while, COVID then. Is, yeah, it's been a while. The last time I was admitted was actually 2019, like April or something.
Wow.
And I'm blaming the dentists for that one, not myself.
The dentist? Why?
I had 2 teeth extracted and my mouth swelled up and I couldn't breathe and
yeah,
pop.
That's different.
So,
that's different.
Yeah. I don't blame. I can blame myself on probably every single one, more or less, but that one I don't blame myself on.
Yeah.
The worst experience I ever had with it was 2016.
That was not the chocolate orange, or was that a different time?
This was not the chocolate orange. No, that was the first time. That wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
I can actually remember the week of events very precisely. Because it was the week following our Brexit referendum.
Oh, okay.
So the story was this referendum, whatever happened on the Thursday, we voted in the morning and we drove, because we were going on holiday for a week, and drove off to go on holiday. It was literally vote, get in car, drive away. So we did that, and we were going to Ireland for like a weekend or something. First of all, I ended up DKAing and being in hospital in Ireland over the weekend, which was, interesting, bit of a problem.
Oh, no.
Fine, the diagnosis were very nicely, but being on hospital on holiday in a different country, problem. Then I came home before my parents. I was spending like an extra week in there or whatever. I came home like a Tuesday or something. Came home and I'm always fine just after being in hospital, and so I was still fine just after being in hospital because of course I was, because I just left hospital, and that wouldn't have happened if things weren't fine.
Right.
Plot twist, things were not fine. Yeah. So things carried on, and that Friday, Clee, who I think I saw in chat, is one of my friends. We used to do a podcast together. That Friday, we were due to record an episode of a podcast, and Clee got a message basically saying, "I'm not feeling particularly well. Would you mind if I sat this one out today?" At some point between like midnight and 6 a.m., I don't know entirely when, exactly by the nature of it, I fell unconscious.
Oh, no.
And the neighbor I was supposed to have lunch with, the nearby friend I was supposed to have lunch with the next day, after I didn't show up, basically came around my house yelling. and then read the email saying that I'd sent at some time in like the very middle of the night saying I'm not feeling well, I'm going to cancel tomorrow. Worked out what had happened and had to call the police to break into the house because I was in a diabetic coma.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I ended up in ICU. I had my diabetes diagnosis story several years later, apparently. But yeah,
years
that was
later.
Effectively, yeah, I did my ICU trip. That was my ICU event. I've never ended up back there, fortunately.
Wow.
But yeah, most people do that when they're first diagnosed and then behave for the rest of the time. I had apparently far too smooth an introduction to diabetes and did it later instead.
Oh yeah, Clee says I remember the Ireland incident.
Oh yeah. And so that was a thing. So this was when my parents were still in Ireland, first of all. So they cut their holiday short. I'd also lost my phone while I was in Ireland. It fell out of my pocket in the back of a taxi.
No.
An Irish taxi on Friday night, the beginning of the evening. So that went well.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
And so yeah, I had no phone in hospital with my parents in a different country. So that was challenging. But yeah, I completely ruined the recording schedule. It was outrageous.
Wow.
But yeah, I did recover. I woke up like a Monday morning, so I'd spent a day and a half or so, and just based on how long I'd been unconscious, I'm told I was an hour or two from having significantly bigger problems than being unconscious.
Right. Like point, delays and things, or like
just I'd be dead at that point. I was like an hour or two from death or something, which would really have impacted my streaming schedule and completely ruined our podcast recording, and also been, really inconvenient for living and stuff.
Man, yeah.
So I got over it then. That was not my last incident, but I was definitely trying a lot harder after that. Most of the other times were just complete screw-up failures and stuff, as opposed to me just being an idiot.
Right.
Which is, I think, the same thing, but like still. And yeah, I'm much better now, mostly.
Good. Jeez, yes. Good. Clee. Yeah, Clee. I was gonna point out how you're like completely ruined our recording schedule. Who cares about your recording schedule in that instance? Oh, Tom says I didn't know all this, Dark. Let me just say I'm glad you're still here. So are we.
There are, I don't know how many members of my
Dark
community
one
still remember,
LUL.
but like that
Thanks
was quite a while ago now. Oh yeah, that happens as well.
That was so nice. Thank you.
I don't know how many members of my community were around back then. Most of them, I think, are actually newer than that. So there's like 5, 6, 7 people maybe in my community who still remember the bit where I literally just dropped off the radar for a weekend, which I'm an extremely online person. That's really unusual.
Yeah. What Clay said, you don't do things by halves, that's very accurate. So you're in it, you're in it.
We're going all in.
Yeah. Wait, so when did you start streaming?
I originally started streaming. I actually don't remember the exact time. I think it was late 2014.
Okay.
Originally. Wow. And I started on a different Twitch account to this. This was before name changes were a thing. I started. Oh, well, yeah, Tom's going to go and look because A, Tom is very good
researching.
At that.
Please hold.
Nothing is secret on the internet. So I started streaming on a different account, which no longer exists. This was before name changes.
Yeah.
And then it had been maybe a year. 20, that sounds about right. Yeah, it had been a little over a year. And I decided, actually, I don't like this Twitch name. It was a name where it had like the name of the game or whatever I was playing, which is fine if you play one game for the rest of your life.
Right.
Not the case.
No.
So, yeah, there was TSW. It was my first and basically only MMO called The Secret World, which was very fun. And then they slightly re-released it, and I think slightly ruined it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And
wait,
that's an opinion. Sully Gnome is the Twitch stats tracker that tells you everything.
Oh, I've never heard of it. That's also a good name.
There's no escaping learning anything.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, I didn't know you had been streaming so long. It makes a lot of sense. Great name, right,
so
Josh?
It was about then, and I've more or less been pootling along since then.
Pootling along. Wow.
Doing things, hanging out, generally being chaotic.
I'm really struck by that story, though. Is there like obviously your mom being in the healthcare field, do you feel like that's put more pressure on you to like take better care of it, or like did she do a lot of helping you along the way?
I think I definitely get a bigger headache when I don't take better care of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not necessarily the same thing. It does mean that on those times when I screw up and don't remember to actually order like medication or needles or something on time, it's a lot easier to get hold of emergency supply.
Right.
Which is sort of helpful because I have, again, a relatively noticeable history of emergency supply because, oh, I have 5 needles left. Huh. Mom. And it's like there's been a lot of that. I'm better at that now as well.
Right.
The fact that I don't have to fill in a bit of paper and tick this, I want this, there's apps for it now, which is much quicker.
Right.
Like that does help. But yes, she has, and she knows a fair amount. I do definitely know more about it than her at this point because
right.
But it was definitely a help at the start.
Yeah, that's so impressive to have that. Dark, explain the cola thing. Doesn't it impact your levels?
I don't know what you're talking about. I only have 135 cans of Coke in here.
Oh God.
I order it in bulk because it's cheaper. And it's all Diet Coke. It's all Diet Coke. Yeah, it's like the thing.
That's why you posted that thing about Coke in our Discord.
Oh yeah. I get crates of 30 and I buy them 6 at a time.
Oh my God.
180 cans I buy once every like 3 or 4 months.
How many do you have a day?
Only 2 most days.
Wow, that's a lot of soda.
It lasts like several months.
Man.
And I've never specifically noticed it because it's sugar-free, so it's
right.
Otherwise, there would definitely be problems. But it's next sponsor idea.
Next sponsor idea.
I mean, I'll take it if they're listening. But it's like I've never encountered any like specific research or anything to suggest that caffeine and the assorted other million of chemicals which exist in the diet version because it's not sugar.
Right.
I've never encountered anything to convincingly suggest that this is a problem beyond, this is a problem.
Right.
But that's normal caffeine addiction problems. That's not diabetic caffeine addiction problems. That's
# dark Coke.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, reply to our tweets about dark with dark Coke.
Uh-oh.
But yeah. Like building off of your experience and everything, how did you get involved with JDRF? Because you've been here before I was even here. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about your experience with JDRF.
A long, long time ago.
Yeah.
I had actually never heard of JDRF. I was contacted by a UK-based charity. Am I allowed to say their name? Do we get immediately fired if I do that?
No, you can say the name.
Cool. So I was originally found by Diabetes UK, who were doing the whole new diagnosis, let's go help people.
Yep.
Thing. I had never heard of JDRF until I just had some random stranger jump into my Twitter DMs and say, "Hi." Their name is Emily M. I'm sure they'll end up watching this back, and if they don't, I'm sure Monique will send this specific clip to them.
I'm going to.
Yeah, there we are. And basically, hi, I noticed I don't know what the original message was, but it was basically, hi, I noticed you're diabetic. I'm doing stuff with a diabetes charity, which again, I had never heard of before.
Right.
And they have a UK chapter, and I don't know if they're just quieter or I don't know, but never heard of them. And then things just started happening and kept happening, and then more things happened, and here we are now.
Yeah. So literally your first interaction with JDRF was with Game2Give.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily. And you're also Emily, so just chat so you're not confused.
Yeah, this is why I make the joke consistently that everyone on my JDRF account is always Emily, without fail.
Always Emily.
Which is why when I give them a chance to name myself in my captions, obviously it had to be Emily.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that was your first instance of engaging with JDRF. So I guess you've had experience learning more about Diabetes UK. And again, you don't do things in halves. So looking at JDRF, like, I'm assuming you did your research. Like, what made you stick around, I guess?
So I did one charity stream for Diabetes UK many years ago, like a couple of years before JDRF stuff.
Yeah.
Probably it is now safe to say I am part of the JDRF furniture. I'm not sure what happens if there's a house fire. Or like a red wine stain. Amazing. Fantastic. But it was interesting doing that fundraising thing. For one of, I'll put it as politely as possible, there, at least at the time, social media skills were slightly lacking.
Oh, sure.
One of my mods, I've either retweeted or quote tweeted or something, I forget what it was at the time, and has a response they still have saved somewhere, I'm sure, of them responding to them as if they were the ones doing the fundraising. And it's all sort of, it's on par with when you raided the wrong person from this account once.
Yikes. Oops. It happens, I guess. But they probably had somebody with the keys that didn't really know how to drive the car.
I'm sure they're much better by now. But then I got sidetracked and you basically poached me.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Did you have like, did you talk about having type 1 in like tweets, or was it in your bio?
I actually don't remember. I assume I had been talking about it at some point.
You must have been.
Or this might have been when tagged. No, it can't have been when tags were on Twitch because we only got the
We just do searches. We sleuth.
Yeah. I have no idea. I've never actually asked Emily how she found me, and I'm sure she doesn't remember at this point and may or may not be regretting it by now.
We should have had Emily interviewing Emily.
We should. That would have been funny. That wouldn't have confused anyone.
No one. Wow. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. He not a cola stain.
I mean, touche. Well played.
Equally difficult. Not a cola. What does that make me though? If you're a cola stain, like
I don't know.
Like I'm not structurally important. Like that's Dan, Connors, and Hans. Those are the structure. So. Anyway, I don't need to take this any farther.
I feel like if we investigate this too far, either it's going to just depress you, or it's going to be some really obscure parts of furniture, like
it's going to be something so weird and something I probably hate. Honestly,
we'll let chat work. We'll let chat work that out. We'll keep
chat. What part of the house? And as Emily too. I'd love to hear. So, I mean, being a part of our community, obviously you're very active with it. Like, what is your favorite part of being a part of it? Like, why are you still here? Like, what brings you back?
It's just boredom, honestly. No. So that's something of a good question. I've always been very bad at finding motivation in things.
Sure. But
on the other hand, if I don't stay motivated about things, I end up in hospital again. So I don't really have a choice one way or another. So what you going to do? And it's to a certain degree sort of just part of that. But it's like, cool, I have diabetes. I might as well do something more than just exist.
Yeah.
And to a certain degree, it's like, cool, I'm a Twitch streamer thing, which is one of the, to be honest, very few things I've managed to remain consistently motivated about over a long time. As someone I used to know quite well, still talk to them sometimes, who had this opinion more about Twitch partners than everyone, but I think it applies that if you are, am I saying, if you're a big streamer and you are not doing charity stuff with your platform, you should not be streaming. And like, he was talking about partners, and I'm not a Twitch partner, but like, it's not, he wasn't wrong. And it's like, well, cool, what do I... And people who do charity stuff, it's like, you can always tell on Twitch when people are sincere about things. Like, I've done streams where I'm a bit too tired to be streaming, and people can always tell. And then I watch it back, and I can tell, and it's like, yeah, I should not have been streaming today. I've ended streams early because I know it's just a bad stream. It's like thing, but it's the same thing with charity. If people can tell you're insincere about something, so it has to be, what can I find that I actually care about? And it's like, and I'll be honest, I wasn't actively looking, but this is definitely something I can remain actively motivated about.
Yeah, so, you know what really struck me so far in this conversation is you talking about how you've been kind of like up and down in your management, because my experience with you has been that you're all in, like so dedicated and on it. So it's very interesting kind of the difference between some of the other aspects of your life and this. I was kind of struck by that.
It's a little bit Discord. It's for want of better way of putting it, safe spaces, which sometimes is a loaded phrase. But nonetheless, Discord is generally somewhere I'm quite comfortable because it's probably not quite my most used application, but that's mostly because Chrome covers a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But as far as the place I spend the most time, it's almost certainly Discord. Two dangerous extremes. Like my phone tells me that I spend like 4.5 hours a day on it. And it's like, I should probably not be spending it. That's on my phone. That's not on my computer when I finish work for the day.
I feel ya.
It's, and it's so it's part of it, which is just that I'm extremely online basically all of the time.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
So when things change, I tend to notice them. So it's easy to be, it's like Tom says, I see everything. It's easy to notice things and react to things if you're already there.
Right.
So there's a little bit of it's that, but it's also like many people will argue with me on this, but I think I'm quite boring in what I do with my life because I work, I come home, I will try and vaguely catch up with the 900 Discord messages or something in the emails or whatever. I will stream or whatever, and then I go to bed, rinse, repeat, and it's like,
oh, that's a good point, Josh. I think normalizing talking about highs and lows is huge because they're reality for everyone. Yeah, that's a really good point.
There's something I found a long time ago, I don't even remember, several years. I think it was 2016 after I had an interesting summer. I ended up in hospital 2 more times that year after that whole fun coma incident.
Yeah.
Just on that year. And that was also when I found a phrase called diabetic distress, which is also known as diabetic depression. And it's very specific. It's like, and I don't know that that's what I was feeling, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, probably. And I'm much better now. I used to, because it used to be blood meat all the time. And then for a while, I was using a Freestyle Libre and kept that up, but because NHS in this country wouldn't support it, at least at the time. And I'm not entering a giveaway. It's not
Enter
fair.
the giveaway. I already put you in it.
Oh, well, fine. Well, now if I win, it's definitely rigged.
I didn't actually put you in it. Exclamation point giveaway, chat. It is usually rigged.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I win something like 85% of any giveaways I add on this channel, so I just don't anymore because
it's really my fault.
I have every game I want from your list of game keys.
I know. We got to get some new ones. We have a lot though. That says a lot about how many times, but it also says a lot about how many times you're here, right? It's not just
that's also true. That is also true.
Yeah.
But so Freestyle Libre, but because that stuff's not free on the NHS, or at least wasn't at the time, it's like I can only afford this for so long.
Right.
So stopped, and you can tell when that started and when that stopped because the first time I got it was like maybe a month after my last hospital admission, and within a month and a half of no longer deciding, okay, this isn't practical to keep affording whatever. Within a month and a half, hospital again.
Wow.
Like the entire time I was on it, not a single hospital admission.
Wow.
And I can't for sure say that, but it was like a year and a half I was using it. So it's like, it was, by my standards, that was not a insignificant period of time. It used to be about 2 a year.
Right.
So this was not an insignificant amount of time where it was basically fine. And so on. Then COVID hit. And obviously diabetes, fairly high risk factor. I was already high on the list because my hospital record is probably thicker than War and Peace at this point.
Peace. Yeah.
But so I was already on the high end of risky from that side of things with regards to their whole, let's put everyone in neat little boxes to decide who gets special help and who doesn't. But I was giving the shielding and instructions and all that. But we made a decision, especially because I was working from home then, which means I'm no longer single-handedly funding the canteen at work and no longer paying for petrol. So it was like then I got a Dexcom 6 because we decided, okay, I can actually afford this every month.
Right.
And still using it. And now that actually is available on the NHS, and I have an appointment pending, which hasn't happened yet, but we'll get there.
Oh, that's great.
NHS is a little busy right now, and
Just
going further into that, any further into that will devolve into an extremely outraged political rant. So we're going to move swiftly on. But
appreciate that. This is wholesome vibes here.
Indeed, but still using that, and again, I haven't had to go to hospital. I think I had an appointment there for something at some point, retinal scan, I think. But in any case, has so far again kept me out of hospital because it also starts screaming at my parents when I start getting too high and things and stuff. So
yeah,
it's good.
Wow,
there's a doggo in the background.
I know, right? My camera for him isn't working, but it's better because he's right here. Wally, hello, say hello. There he is.
And
is he real?
The most important thing on the stream immediately changed. No one cares about us anymore.
They never care. No one ever cares about me. They look right past me to my dog at this point. Oh, it's Bearded. Bearded's here. Hey, Bearded, 1 more minute. Enter the GameKey giveaway. Exclamation point giveaway. Hello, hello, hello. Wow. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I agree with Josh. Like, as somebody who doesn't have type 1, I feel like I've heard, in this community at least, I've heard about the management really going much more smoothly, which is interesting to me, versus not hearing about a lot of the highs and lows. So, I mean, obviously there are certain levels people are comfortable with sharing and whatnot, but I just hear a lot about like how you were talking about in the beginning about going into DKA to start, and that kind of like scares people to the point of like, I need to do better at management of this.
Yeah, I never had that.
Right.
Like,
so I'm wondering if that's a piece of it.
Sailing all the way, and I was saying I'm very bad at habit forming. I'm probably at least a little bit ADHD. Never been proven. You can't prove anything. But like I'm very, very bad at forming habits.
Yeah.
And because I was never actively pushed straight into, this is something you need to stay right on top of. Also, 15-ish is a problematic time to be trying to form any sensible habits whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say that too. Like your age probably played a big role in that.
Yeah, if I'd been diagnosed when I was 5 or something, I'd probably be, I don't want to say I'd probably be amazing because, like, let's be fair,
you wouldn't know any different.
Yeah. And if I'd been diagnosed, say, in my 20s, then I wouldn't go so far to say I'm sensible and mature now because no. But on the other hand, I'm capable of being slightly more sensible when I really needed to.
When adult responsibilities.
And Josh saying social media, giving people perfection syndrome or whatever.
That's so true. Yes, a lot of perfect A1C and everything. Yeah, so it's really interesting as an outsider, someone that doesn't have it, just kind of seeing what has been shared and then like actually hearing the real people sharing their stories, which I think is probably with most things anyway. Bearded, you won! Not rigged, Dark. Or Emily.
No, I didn't win. It can't be rigged.
Bearded, I'll send you a Discord message with our list of many games that you can pick from. But congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for joining it. Sorry to Mark, Clay, and Tom. Maybe another time. That always happens here. Sweet, sweet, sweet victory. Absolutely.
Victory.
Victory is mine. Okay.
It's like...
What is going on? Oh, it's telling me that our meeting is starting in 5 minutes. LOL. Must have 2 things saved on my computer. Of course. I want to talk a little bit more about your streaming too, since you've shared so much about having T1D.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit earlier with me about like how you love Hollow Knight. So do you want to just talk a little bit about like some of your favorite games and what you like to stream?
Sure. So I started a long time ago as I'll stream whatever I feel like streamer, which gets messy because then it's like, okay, should I stream this today? But I was streaming it yesterday and I want to stream it. It's the mess happens. And I've sort of narrowed things down over time. So now I am officially a space game streamer, which
love it.
Is very specific and at the same time can be very, very loosely interpreted if I want to play a particular game. So it's very descriptive. It's descriptive and at the same time, but some people will tell you I'm very good at the whole wordplay and turning things on people very quickly.
No,
because
that doesn't sound like you.
Nah, I would never do that.
Never.
That would be horrible. But so yeah, if I want to stream a game, I can generally justify it. But especially on charity events, because I think it's funny for charity events, I tend to stream platform Wii games like Hollow Knight, which is one of my all-time favorites. I have a bit too much Hollow Knight merch.
Oh, nice!
This one's eyes light up and it plays music.
That's cute.
2 resin statues, a collector's edition, 3 disc plates on my wall. I may want a jacket and 2 t-shirts.
Wow, you're in for it with Hollow Knight.
Probably, I'm a fan of Hollow Knight. It is not, despite this, my favorite game ever. It's just that my favorite game ever has less merch.
What's your favorite game ever?
The best game I have ever played is Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds. I'll put it in chat.
World. Thank you.
I can't.
Oh, you've said that before. Yeah, Outer Wilds.
Well, I can spell. One of them was a capital letter. It's fine. I and L next to each other isn't at all confusing.
It happens.
The Outer Wilds' only problem is that it has limited replayability because the experience of actually playing it is the experience. And on that basis, all I can tell you is that anyone who hasn't played it should absolutely go and play it, having not read anything about it first, because anything you know about it will ruin it. Well, slightly spoil it for you.
Yeah, Josh. Out of Wales. Are you trolling me, Josh? Because I said out of Wales.
I think that might be happening.
Excuse me.
It's fine, Tom. I know where you live. But no, so, and yeah, it's like I can't explain why that game is wonderful without ruining it in many ways. It's one of those games where the entire experience is playing the game is the experience, and it's one of my favorite games to find people playing for the first time for the same reason, because it's the permanent answer to the permanent answer to if you could forget any game you've ever played and play it again for the first time is now the only viable option.
Gosh, okay, noted. Yeah, Josh.
But I have a lot of favorite games.
I feel like what we need to do. Oh, yes, you do, and you. I mean, can I also just shout out your recent painting?
Excellent. Yeah, those are fun. Sometimes on so as a charity incentive, I will often do, I call it really bad art because it's me drawing in paint with a mouse, and I take I take incentives. I've now done it 6 times, and the latest one I basically nominated myself, and I drew the JDRF logo.
And now it's you in our Discord.
Which, yeah, it's the same logo you've got in the bottom right of the stream. And if you're in the JDRF Discord, I use it as I use my drawing of the buttons icons as my profile photo because I can, and because I will relentlessly troll people.
I love that. I was just retweeting all of them because they're really good. It is the new logo. Maybe I'll just start a feature of the new logo. Best paint of the JDRF Game2Give gamepad.
You can make the logo a GIF now, so you just need to take it as the normal logo and just put one frame of painted one in every 10 seconds or something, so it will just flicker for a moment for people and they'll just catch it and it'll be like, wait, what?
Wait, what was that? That'd be really funny. But no, I was actually gonna say I feel like one of the streams we should do once or twice a month is somebody from the community playing another person in the community's favorite game.
Ooh.
And commentating on it. So
I have a good recommendation for single stream games as well.
Yeah, so
Outer Wilds is not a single stream game.
Right.
Yeah, do it, Tom. I mean, Tom, you should be able to post it anyway. I don't think the bot will murder you for posting a link. Unless I'm wrong, in which case Tom's about to get purged, which would be quite funny.
We can make
I'd feel slightly bad about it, but I would be slightly
I would feel risk.
Very slightly bad about it, but it would also be extremely funny.
I can just put the link in. That's totally fine. It's so good. Although I did just post 1 million threads in there. Well, I mean, so obviously you have a lot of experience gaming, and did he? Okay, Tom got it. Okay, never mind. I do not need to look it up. There it is. Super funny. Check it out if you want to laugh. I love that incentive.
One, this is mostly just because I can, was my caption on this tweet. And it's like, yep, that's actually absolutely accurate.
I think that's such a great incentive idea. It's just really fun. I saw someone and they were like asking them to paint Pikachu, and like it couldn't have looked further from Pikachu ever. Like it looked like some demon cat. Like it was not even close. It's super fun.
I'm very clear to always say in the Redemption, I get to interpret what you say however I want.
Yeah.
And I'm very picky about this because I will absolutely monkey spoil people.
I love it.
What was it? One of my mods submitted a thing, which was another of our friends winning at Stellaris. They mistyped winning as whining, as in not with an H, as in drink of wine. And I was like, it was very clearly a typo. And
you took it and ran with it?
Of course. In that thread will be, not sure if it's before or after. It's quote tweets. I did it as quote tweets. But somewhere in those quote tweets will be the... yeah, here we are. I'll put this in the chat.
Oh, God. Well. Incredible.
This one, which is...
Love it.
Erica whining at Stellaris.
Oh, is Pikachu not a demon cat? Good point. Good point. It could be. Could be. So, I mean, getting a little bit back to, obviously your journey with T1D, you've talked a little bit about this.
Back to the point.
No. I love how it weaves and ebbs and flows.
I'm very good at tangents.
I enjoy it because I am also tangential. What is something that you would tell yourself now when you were 15, recently diagnosed, and now knowing everything you've been through?
It's actually a good question. I've never actually thought about this because no one's asked me before. This was left off the full list of approved questions that we had before. Like, this is an extra question. I'm going to have to walk out now. No.
Oh, boy. I should have ran it by your agent. I'm really sorry.
There's a penalty fee for this? No. Probably, I don't know exactly, but probably much what Tom said.
Yeah, Tom.
Try and make sure you actually stay on top of things. Never go anywhere near chocolate oranges. But yeah.
I will never look at a chocolate orange the same.
Well, it's fine. If you eat it on Christmas Day, it's fine. It doesn't count. Right? But yeah, it would probably be sure to actually stay on top of things.
Yeah.
And probably, in fairness, would probably have to say that to my 15-year-old self, my 15-year, 1-week-old self, 2-week-old, and so on for the rest of time, because eventually I might actually get the habit. But it's apparently taken about 13 years of having diabetes to get into good habit.
Right, and a pandemic somehow helped.
13 years of pandemic and a weekend coma. Yeah, it's like it's a while, but we get there.
Hey, yeah, everybody in their own time. I like too what Josh was talking about too, about normalizing highs and lows. So I really appreciate you sharing that story, because most people that have been on here, it's like they've basically had one bad instance, maybe two, and been smooth sailing, but that's clearly not always the case. I know, right? So that's what I was saying. From me, as somebody who's new to this world, I'm learning a lot about kind of the more normal experience of having type 1.
And it's like, I have, what am I trying to say? It's like I have a fun bit where my sugar levels like to crash about just as I'm going to bed. I can't sleep if my sugar levels are low. I think this is most people, but it's like I cannot sleep even if I want to, which I always do. And it's like, cool, so if I recover however long it takes, and by that point it's 1:30 and you still haven't got any sleep and you have to go for work, it's ruins, and it basically ruins your decent life. I don't get decent nights of sleep anyway. I am existentially tired in every possible way, but it's like that doesn't help. And I have days like that, and it's entirely extremely frustrating.
Do you feel like your workplace or other things, like if they know about this at all, like are they accommodating for you, or?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they knew about it when I applied, and it was, they've always been fine with it. And like, even when, oh, here's a bit I haven't said. So I don't even remember exactly when it was now. But very much as a direct result of that knife edge, mostly high levels, but never so high that anything bad happened. And for clarification, the asterisk and the footnote to this is never so high that anything bad immediately happened, because as anyone who knows or has experienced the details of diabetes for a long time goes, consistently high levels can and will screw you over. And it got to a point where I started developing peripheral neuropathy at my feet.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
To the point where, again, around Christmas, I do not like, I have a bad history of Christmases. We're
coming up on that. That's scaring me.
I have a very bad score of Christmas. It's much better now.
Okay.
But me, diabetes and Christmas do not go well together. It's not a good mix. But it became literally, I could not walk across our office at work to the fridge without just, because peripheral neuropathy, for those who don't know, the nerves basically start dying because they're being blood starved, because your sugar is your blood is literally, that was an amusing slip actually, your blood is literally too much sugar.
Right.
All things considered. And it's like, it basically kills the nerve endings in to start with feet. And that's very painful. It's like, it was genuine. It's literally like very uncomfortable to walk across an office, which is like 3 meters maybe. Wow. And it's like, then walk back again to get a drink or something. Diet Coke, of course. But
sugar-free.
And it's like, it's very much less painful now, but it was still very much, even when like the pain stopped happening, which is not necessarily a good thing, because that just means all of the nerves which transmit pain are now dead, which, let's be fair, is not ideal. All things considered, was more ideal than the constant pain, but still not ideal. And it's like, I can stand in a bath and it feels wet, and it's like, is it hot? Is it cold? I don't know. I'm just standing there. And it's like, and it's better. I say it's better now. I don't know if it's just that I'm used to it and I'm just subconsciously more or less ignoring it, or if I'm actually slowly healing. Nerve cells take a really, really long time to heal. It's like literally years, their replenishment rate. So maybe I'm now slowly healing, and maybe I'm just subconsciously adjusting to it. I don't know. But it is sort of, I don't want to say it's like it's because, there's people who have like chronic pain and stuff like that. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's that, but there's a certain, and maybe more so because I have been driven to hospital at varying different times of day so many times. The people who all have wonderful lives, I feel like I'm taking piss out of them. No, that's not fair. But no,
I know what you're saying.
The people who have better experiences with diabetes, maybe not so much, but it very much is a sort of constant additional source of stress or pressure or whatever. And it's like, I have microwave meals for dinner basically every night, partly because it's just convenient and easy and I'm really lazy, partly because it has the carbohydrates number printed conveniently on the cardboard on the back. So
you know what to give yourself. Yeah.
And it's like, it's easier. I have exactly the same lunch every day because I've worked out what it is over time to inject. And it's not that I won't diverge. Like, I like having pizza as much as anyone. I carefully moved a pizza box from Saturday out of range of the camera because I haven't got rid of it yet. And it's like, not that I don't like eating the extras. I'm quite fond of several different takeaways, all of which will screw me up for the next day if I'm not careful. And I'm almost never careful enough, so go figure.
Yeah.
But it's a work in progress, everything is. But it's like, there's always it's a question of what is easier a lot of the time. Do I act? I'm not one of those, like, you see, I can't remember what it was now, there's a book I read, someone who diabetic and decides to just go on 2-person mountain hikes across the Alps or something. And it's like, I'm not a particularly physical person anyway. And even if I was, I'm fairly certain, no.
You wouldn't do that. Yeah.
It's very much a case of, I will take the path of least resistance. It's like, it's the same reason I don't do 24-hour streams anymore. And I've done them twice, maybe 3 times before. And every time I ended up in hospital within a week.
Wow.
And it's
really?
like I got the lesson eventually. It takes a while, but I get there.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
It's you know
I didn't realize you had the neuropathy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave is enough of my mods. Like most of my mods are in here now. Dave takes part for most resistance, but it's like I'll take the part. It's like it's easier in many ways because time is what is time? There is never time. But it's like in many ways it's easier. It's like 5 minutes in a microwave. Oh, I'll do that. I know exactly how much to inject. Simple. Yay.
Right. That's the other piece. I mean, we've talked about this a lot on this channel about just how it's an every second management. Everything you do affects it. Hi, hidden pizza box. I know. I was thinking about the hidden pizza box too.
But it's always like at no point am I ever more than. It's maybe a slight exaggeration, but at no point am I ever more than maybe 5 hours away from, at best, a terrible night's sleep, and at worst, not that.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Sort of tedious.
Yeah, very tedious.
Which is probably not the most appropriate word for it.
Honestly, TLDR, it's type 1 is tedious. Dark likes pizza and sugar-free Coke.
Yeah.
No. We cannot TLDR this. Okay? We can't because this has just been so much fun. I can't even believe we're only 3 minutes away from the end of it. He also ruining his friend's day.
I don't know what I don't know why you would. Wow, outrageous. Why would you suggest that?
Dark is a lovely troll. Honestly, yes. Lovely troll. I co-sign that.
I put a lot of work into my troll.
You do. You really do. I love it.
Mel, who has also been lurking in chat. I can't actually remember exactly what it was now. She said something on one of her streams, which I clipped and then sat on the clip for a week, scheduled a tweet to happen when I was live an hour into her stream after she'd stopped looking at Twitter, to tag her, shout her out, shame her with the clip while also shouting out her stream on my Twitter. And it's like, how do you find that? I don't even remember what it was. She saw what it was. Now I could probably go find it.
That is incredible.
I will go to perhaps unreasonable lengths to wind up my friends.
You know what though? It's all because you care in your own way, and I am so appreciative of that. Yeah, it's always in good fun. Listen here, mushroom.
It is. In fairness, Mel is one of my favorite people to wind up. When I used to have sound alerts on my channel, I quietly just changed hers to her being made to say her single least favorite one after I conned her into a charity stream once. And it took 5 days before she ran the alert. And just her response in chat is, I have a clip of it somewhere, and I just burst out laughing. It was great.
That's so good. That's so good. Yes, Dark is alarmingly British, and it throws people off. I would agree with that. As an American, I was like, who is this guy already correcting me in my first week on Discord? And then I was like, wait a minute. This is my kind of guy.
It's much more irritating because I generally try to make sure I need to do that when I know I'm right. Which is very much more irritating to people. Honestly,
though, it does not bother me. So we're in good company here. But Dark, I just want to thank you again for coming on. This has been a long time coming, and what a great way to close out our year. Definitely need to clip a lot of this, and especially the part about Emily.
There were several parts about Emily.
Yeah, Emily was the highlight, and she doesn't even know it. But thank you for sharing your experience. I really, really appreciate that. Like what Josh said earlier, and I know I said this already, but
Tom,
of course,
you are scary.
Tom, the Emily part was 20 May. Thank you, Tom. That's really helpful for me. Thank you. Actually, I really appreciate that. Let's see. Well, Dark, first, before we sign off, is there anything else you'd like to share with chat? Just about your experience with T1D or anything random too, like what pizza you had in that pizza box, whatever works for you.
That's an important point. It was absolutely and always will be ham and pineapple pizza. That's very important.
Oh, well, that's like a whole nother stream.
We'll have to come back to that one.
That's like is a hot dog a sandwich kind of thing that we talk about.
It depends on your definition of sandwich. And now we're doing another 24-hour stream. I'll just call in sick for work tomorrow. Sorry, busy.
Well, thank you for sharing your pizza. Oh God, get that emote out of here. No, I'm kidding. This is an inclusive pizza chat.
But no, as we were waiting at 5 a.m. in an airport once, and my brother really needed the bathroom. Like I said, don't get diabetes. That would suck.
That is what a great sign off. What a great sign off. Don't get diabetes. It would suck. Well, you guys, please give it up for Dark in chat. I know many of you are his friends, mods, people he trolls. I am one of those people he trolls. And of course, my voice has changed
timing
at the very end. And I am a robot.
Got that timing. Perfect.
Wow. Wow, I'm allegedly a robot. Who really knows what a robot is or not? Who is live? Let's check this out and see who we can go and send some love to from our community. And
Go and raid Krillin, who is currently playing Hollow Knight.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes,
or we
let's
could raid
do that.
Audi, who is playing a Lost Ark for the first time, and we can see if you can spell his name.
I am actually going to do Krillin, because I don't think I've ever raided Krillin yet.
I should probably add to anyone here who isn't used to whatever. Krillin is not a family-friendly streamer.
Thank you. Yes.
Just the advanced warning on that one.
Advanced warning. That is very reasonable. Thank you so much. Krillin is a fellow T1D and a part of our Ready Type 1 ambassador team.
He was in the top 10 biggest fundraisers in Ender.
He was. Yes, he was. He killed it. He was at 1,500? Yeah.
It was something like that. And then I had to call him out in chat because his girlfriend beat him by $10.69.
Ray killed it, though.
I definitely didn't see the last time you did that and then help because it was funny to wind him up by making sure she won. I would never do that.
Never. Again. Never. Only emote only. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, y'all, it's time to head over to Krillin. Thank you again for being here. Again, adult mature stream coming up, so be warned. But it is one of Krillin's favorite game, or one of Dark's favorite games, Hollow Knight, that Krillin is playing. So it seems fitting that we head that way. He wasn't supposed to be
playing it today, then he realized, oh no, I'm addicted. He was meant to be playing something
That's how I feel about Fortnite currently. But it was so great hearing from all of you. If Bearded, if you're still here, I'll DM you. But thank you all so much. And we will see you in 2023.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.